Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Ha-Rakat Kodash. Double honors goes out to the other apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so I'm going to start. Let's see, I'm going to start with Zechariah 5:1, and it says, Then I turned and lifted mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. So what Zechariah saw was what you would call a UFO. Right? It's a chariot of the Lord. And the size is comparable to, so the length of it was about two small SUVs in size, 20 cubits, and then the width is about one SUV in width. So you could see that was how big the chariot was. That was shaped like a roll. All right, and like a flying roll would be like a roll of a scroll, like a letter rolled up with. This is what he saw in the sky. And it says verse 2. Or verse 3. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. So that's what it is. The chariot, the Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, hey, Yahweh is letting him know, Zechariah, that the chariots are a curse to the earth. And it's precept in Isaiah 66 and 15. Showing you that the chariots are a curse to the earth, because yes, the chariots are there for salvation, but you remember Yahweh's balance. He's a God of balance, so he has the salvation for the chariots and also the destruction of the chariots. All right, and this is dealing with the destruction. This is Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. See, so Yahweh is going to kill a lot of people, not only with the nuclear fire, but also by the hand of the chariots, the beams. All right, you go to the book of Nahum, and it talks about the havoc that the chariots are going to be inflicting on Babylon. All right, let's go to it real quick. Nahum 2 and 3. The shield of his mighty men is made red, the valiant men are in scarlet. So Esau's soldiers, his military, they're going to be made red, and they're going to be scarlet. What is scarlet? Scarlet is red. So symbolic for blood. The armies of the earth are going to be red. They're valiant men, meaning their best warriors are going to be red. Why? Because they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be killed. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir trees shall be terribly shaken. All right, so the chariots have flaming torches. All right. If I look at if you look at the back screen of my phone, it shows you a chariot, and it shows you like the torch, concentrated fire coming out of the chariot. This chariot can beam you up for salvation, or it can burn you to a crisp, So let's get another verse on that. And the trees are shaken because when the chariots are low to the ground, it can cause a vibration that'll cause the trees to shake. See? Verse 4, let's read that. Nahum 2 and 4. The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall jostle one against another in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightnings. Because the chariots are fast, they can shoot across the sky from one side of the... They can go from the east to the west, just like lightning goes from the east to the west. That's how quick and that's how fast the chariot is. Alright, so let's see. Zechariah 5 and right here we'll go to 4. So it says Zechariah 5 and 4. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. So he's showing you that the chariots are going to enter the house of the thief. And who's the thief? Esau, Edom. He stole this land from the Gadites, the Reubenites, so-called Native Americans. This was their land, so that's why this place would be called the house of the thief, because this is not truly, this is the Edomites' land, but it's truly not his land because he got it, he stole it. So let me read that again. And I will bring it forth, meaning the chariots, the curse, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, which is Babylon, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. Right? So they teach you Jesus Christ. They don't teach you the true name. You see? And they got our people swearing that Jesus Christ is the Lord. It says, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Showing you that the chariots, they're going to destroy the wood and the stones, along with the nuclear fire. Alright? Let me see. So I got the Nahum. But the chariots, they're coming back. Yahweh Shai is coming back, on a chariot. Same way he left, like it tells you in Acts 1 and 9. And when they come back, he's coming back on a chariot. But this time the difference is in Matthew 10 and 34. Because we know he's coming back, right? Let's see how he's coming back. This is his own words. Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. He's going to come back for war with the chariots, the angels, the clouds, right? Let's get it real quick. Psalm 104:3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. See, so he goes chariot. He makes the cloud his chariot. The beams of his chambers, coming out of that chamber is the beam coming out of the UFO chamber, which the one Zechariah saw, it was big as 20 cubits, so that's about 2 SUVs in length, and in width about 1 SUV. You see, that's how big the chariot he saw was. And it was in the sky, and Yahweh tells you in Psalms 104:3 that he makes the clouds his chariot, right? Through David. Through King David, he was prophesying about the clouds being the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. When you go into that word chariot, let me get it real quick on the blue letter. So let's go into it. Let's see. Let me get Psalm 104. 3 on the blue letter, because I want to play that for you real quick. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to hit tools. You want to get the understanding, right? He makes the cloud his chariot. So here's that word chariot. It's rikab, which when you go into it, it means a vehicle. Alright, so let's let me pause the music so you can hear the. This is chariot in Hebrew. Oh yeah, is that Hebrew? Let me see. Yeah, this is chariot in Hebrew.
Strong's H 7398. Rechuv. Rechuv.
Rechuv. So rechuv means a vehicle. Alright, so when we look at this, Psalms 104:3, change it to that. Who maketh, we'll say, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, to maketh the clouds his vehicle. Right? And that's what Zechariah saw. He saw a vehicle, which was about the size of 2 vehicles, which would be SUVs in the sky. 20 cubits in length, 10 cubits in breadth, which means width, because I looked it up. So that's the chariot, though. Double-edged sword. It's gonna save certain people. It's gonna be burning up other people, with fire, concentrated fire coming out of that beam. And let me show you another verse really quick. Psalm, what was I gonna grab out? Let me see. Salakia, it just slipped my mind. Can't remember, but let's see if the spirit will come back. But that's what it is. The chariots, they do the two, they save and they destroy. So now we know that 104:3, that's a vehicle. 104:3, who maketh the clouds his chariot, it says in the middle of that verse. So now when we go to Matthew 24, well actually, let's go to Acts 1 and 9. Acts 1 and 9. And when he spoken these things, while they beheld, well, you know what? Let's read what he spoke right before he went up into the so-called UFO. Yahweh Shai said, "But ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth." Showing you that this is prophecy, because the prophecy is the prophets are introducing the world to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, to the uttermost parts of the earth. That's why we're all over the earth, revealing Yahweh Shai to the Israelites, But anyway, we go to verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So a cloud was the vehicle, chariot. A cloud is the chariot. So that's what that is right there. He went up in a chariot. And what did the angels say? Let's keep reading. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which were angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. See? So he's coming back the same way, but this time he's coming back with a sword. We read that in Matthew 10 and 34. And not only is he coming back with a sword, he's coming back with the other angels. Alright? Matthew 24 and 24. Right, let's see. Let me find this verse. But he's coming back on those chariots, and we read about the chariots, how they're going to be running in the broadways, right? Causing havoc, fire. And we'll read Matthew 24 and 30. It says, and then, well, you know what? Let's start at 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Those stars falling from heaven is those nuclear missiles. All right. And verse 30, it says, because when the nuclear missile shot, it gets shot up into space, and then it comes back into the atmosphere, and it comes back down with great force and power. And that's why it says the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Right, verse 30. And then so this is what we know. Right after the nuclear missiles come out, that's when Yahweh Shai and the chariots come back. Right at that moment. Right? Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So those are those clouds, those chariots. He's coming with power and great glory, and those chariots are coming to do their double duty, destroy and take the elect up in salvation, right? Because here's the salvation part. Matthew 24:31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, and from one end of heaven to the other, right? So the four winds is the north, east, west, south, all over the planet Earth. Those chariots are going to gather the elect. And what's going to happen while they gather the elect? We'll go to Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Which chambers? The chambers of that so-called UFO, that cloud, that chariot. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. See, so now when we're in the chariot, we're going to miss that nuclear fire. Because it says we're going to be in there for a moment until the indignation be overpassed, which is the indignation of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Alright? So now let's look that word up real quick. So indignation means anger, rage. These are other words that it's what do we call it? Synonyms, words that are similar. Fury, wrath, fury, anger, rage, provoked anger. You see? So that's that indignation. When you read that, it says, hide thyself as if it were a little moment. We're hiding ourselves in the chambers of the chariot until the indignation be overpassed. See? And we can read 21. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So see, Yahweh is going to punish the inhabitants of the world when he visits. But the cue is those missiles go off. That's when the chariots show up. See, they're going to gather the elect, and they're going to burn the rest of it. Whatever the missiles don't burn. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ha-Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.